whether he was referring to Atiku, Obasanjo replied, "My vice president, I didn't know what name you want to give him, but my vice president, I mean that." Obasanjo sometimes wants to be, kind of being cunning somehow when he's speaking about people. He did not really explain what he did, one particular thing he did. He maintained that with the benefit of hindsight, he would have made a different choice. And of course, what I know about him later, I would not have picked him. Thank God that God did not allow his actions and reactions to overwhelm me, divert my focus from Nigeria or harm Nigeria, he said.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to get, Bimbo. So if his actions did not distract you, and it did not harm Nigeria or destabilize Nigeria in any form, and you can still beat your chest and say you did well as president of Nigeria, despite whatever you think about your vice president. So that means whatever you have with him is personal, and it shouldn't be our business.
Yes.
And if you are saying that God often fixes mistakes for you before they are made, and God didn't fix this particular mistake, so it means it wasn't a mistake.
Yes.
Because God doesn't make mistakes, unless you are saying that it was God that made the mistake and not you. So if you are saying that God often fixes your mistakes before you make them, and that and God didn't fix this one, so it means it wasn't a mistake. So would it be that you didn't know that he was going to stand against your ambition to seek a third term in office?
Apart from that one,
to alter the constitution, maybe that's maybe that was what you didn't know about him. That now you're looking back now, Baba is now full of regrets. That if I had known that he would stand against my ambition to perpetuate myself in office, I wouldn't have picked him. But then what concerns us as Nigerians is whatever Alhaji Atiku Abubakar did that has an impact on us. And since you are saying that he was not successful in distracting you, so then I think whatever you have with him should be between you and him. And we are not interested. I am not interested. Let me not speak for the generality of Nigerians. So
everybody is interested. It is, apart from the fact that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar stood against the fact that
what I mean is I'm not interested in whatever personal grouse he has to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I'm interested in Nigeria.
I am sure it is about money, cash. Yes, cash. Don't let me just go through details.
Well, it might not be money, it might not be corruption as such, but for the fact that he wanted to do certain things which Alhaji Atiku Abubakar felt he shouldn't do, and then maybe understood against it. Some certain things that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar felt was unconstitutional.
Yes.
And at that point in time too, maybe after the president has spent 2 terms, maybe Alhaji Atiku Abubakar also felt that he deserves a run at the presidency. So of course he stood firmly against when there was this story about an attempt to bribe the lawmakers, which Baba has strongly denied, which he has debunked. I think it was one of the lawmakers that brought his own share of whatever money to the National Assembly chambers. It was such an interesting drama at that time, but all that is in the past now. And I don't know why. It's elections are around the corner, and Baba and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, they are busy digging up mud about themselves again. I wish them all the best. And no blood was shedding for Osun election, Amupiton declares. That's the INEC boss, and he has warned the election officials against political pressure. IGP deploys new CP ahead of August 15 poll. Well, at last they gave the opposition parties what they wanted, a new CP.
Yes, I do not remember who called yesterday that a new CP had been deployed.
We said we could not verify at that time. Well, it's now confirmed.
It's now confirmed.
A new CP has been deployed. And then, well, Bibo, I'm just thinking.
Is this not politics playing out?
I'm just thinking here. If you say that you don't want a particular CP, okay, and let's assume for a second or for a minute that the authorities are actually trying to manipulate the elections, I mean at the federal level, and they're actually trying to be biased in favor of the ruling political party at the center. Now you have rejected this particular commissioner of police, so how are you sure that the one they have deployed would not have been given specific instructions that this is what you are going there to do?
You remember the adage, the angel you know, or is it the devil you know?
It's better than the angel you do not know.
And the angel you do not know.
Because
just
the other CP is also being deployed from the same people that you suspect wants to manipulate the elections. They are still the ones deploying the other CP. So maybe just my own personal thoughts here, Bimbo. I'm not saying that is the situation, but then I don't know.
That is what they want.
And they've given them what they want.
So let's see what will happen.
Okay, still on security matters. Seminarian disappears from Bishop's residence in Benue and diocese alleges abduction. Police describe incident as missing person case. Well, if it was an abduction, those who perpetrate abductions in this country, they don't hide the fact that they have done it. I'm not saying it could not be a case of abduction, but well, the Missing Persons Act, I think, should come into play here, and investigation will reveal whether it was actually an abduction. It happened in the Catholic Diocese of Otukpo, Benue State, and the allegation was that gunmen abducted the seminarian Kelvin Ochai from the residence of the Catholic Bishop of Otukpo, Muslim Reverend Michael Ekweyi Akpochi. And this was confirmed in a statement issued on Friday by the Vice Chancellor, Reverend Father Joseph Aboyi Itodo.
Well, this one again, yes, from Kogi State. The Kogi State Police Command has confirmed the killing of a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Samuel Okpeyemi Uyetoro. Uyetoro was a priest at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Igbe, until his death. The late clergyman, who reportedly hailed from Ayetoro Bede in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State, was reportedly stabbed multiple times before his lifeless body was dumped by the roadside in Ajaokuta. The Kogi State Police Command, in its preliminary findings, disclosed that the deceased sustained severe machete cuts to the head, and sources said the cleric was on relief duty in Ajaokuta and had traveled to Lokoja to carry out banking transactions on Tuesday, July 28, 2026. He was allegedly killed while returning to Ajaokuta the same day. The police public relations officer in the state, ASP Saliu Afusat, confirmed the incident in a statement. I think that is it was a target. Yes, a target.
But the United States of America, God's own country, that country where some of us would like to go when we retire and then explore the beaches of Florida, Savo, the casinos of Texas, and then, possibly if the funds are available, sip champagne on a yacht, and then explore the vast beauty of that land, God's own country, they call it.
And get to Texas, yes, Houston, Texas, and see the vast farmland, yes, mechanized farming.
Possibly live on the farm, myself, I know that. So it's things that some of us dream of when we retire to retreat into that beautiful country. Now, somebody left all that, Bimbo, and came to Nigeria to form a robbery gang.
Yes.
They call him Alaji. James Alaji came from US to form robbery gang in Nigeria, specializes in snatching exotic SUVs using weapons shipped from America. People go to America and other countries to import cars, to import useful things which they could sell in Nigeria and make profit. He decided to import weapons to terrorize his countrymen. And let's see. Alaji Kendi, that's what they call him, aka Kenny, surname withheld, is a man who has traveled to countries outside Nigeria. He lived in the US, where he claims to have a wife and 2 children before finally settling back in Nigeria. His very visible silver tooth also indicates that he has been to Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. But strangely, he decided to add armed robbery to his work experience, to his CV. And Alaji Kende was recently arrested by operatives of the Violent Crime Response Unit, VCRU, of the Oyo State Police Command over allegations that, alongside a gang member, Mojid Yusuf, aka DJ Porter, he dispossessed 2 victims of their unregistered Lexus RX 350 SUVs, 2010 and 2013 models, at gunpoint in Ibadan within a space of 4 months. So, Bimbo, it doesn't add up. How does living in the United States, and from what I'm reading here, he probably made it big in the United States.
Yes.
I don't know whether it was true honest work, but how can coming back to Nigeria to form a robbery gang and terrorizing your countrymen, how can that be more profitable than living in the US as a free citizen where you don't have to look over your back all the time? And I don't know.
Maybe he must have had that inkling of becoming a criminal before he came to Nigeria in the US.
Okay, so are you saying that it's nature, Bimbo, and that it's in his genes, that criminality is in his genes, and then he decided that I must still go back to my country to become a criminal, despite the opportunities I have? Well, by conclusion, Bimbo, Entolorio Nifila, Entolorio Lagbado, he that has a head does not have a cap to fit on it, and he that has teeth does not have maize to chew or to savo. I think that's so. Bimbo, if I had that kind of opportunity, I would now Bimbo. But I don't know. Like, I guess it's nature.
It is nature. He has had that thing in him.
That's how he's wired naturally.
Now, I have this one here. Sex for marks. Talking about
is that still happening? Is that still happening in our educational institutions?
It is still happening. That is what I'm seeing here. Sex for marks. 60 Randy lecturers axed in 5 years.
60?
Yes, past 5 years.
I want to hear more money. The day must have broken those ones.
Yes. No fewer than 60 lecturers across Nigerian universities and polytechnics have been suspended, dismissed, had their appointments terminated, or been prosecuted over allegations of sexual harassment and other forms of sexual misconduct in the last 5 years. An analysis of disciplinary actions publicly announced by tertiary institutions between 2021 and July 2026 shows that while universities and polytechnics have maintained zero tolerance policies against sexual misconduct, reports of lecturers demanding sex from students have continued to emerge across the country. The latest incidents occurred on July 27, 2026, when Paul University, Oka, Anambra State, announced the suspension of a practical biology technologist in its faculty for natural and applied sciences, Cornelius Eze, over allegations of serious sexual misconduct after a complaint was lodged with the institution on July 14. And a week earlier, on July 18, Kogi State Polytechnic terminated the appointment of a lecturer, Mukhtar Mohammed, over allegation that he sexually molested a student. And the institution said the decision was part of efforts to maintain discipline and protect students from abuse. Tola. This is a kind of controversial issue now. All those that have made complaints, maybe they were kind of being lured into wanting to have sexual intercourse, or being the lecturers wanted to forcefully have things to do with them. But some female students actually agree. Yes, because they want marks.
Bimbo, that is no excuse. Even if you are tempted and you are lured by a female student, you should learn to control your third leg.
Yes.
You should learn to put a leash on that third leg.
That one in between. But
so what is wrong is wrong.
But
no matter the circumstances.
But the students too, the female students too, they should learn to shut up their mouth. You understand?
When you don't deliver now, when you promise, and then she also faced the charge of attempted murder, but she was exonerated of that. She was cleared of that. But the one about grievous bodily injury, and what happened, murder, but she was exonerated of that. She was cleared of that. But the one about grievous bodily injury, and what happened, Bimbo, they were living together under the same roof, in a one-room apartment. and then the woman quite unwittingly brought another full-blooded female, a friend of us, who was facing accommodation issues, into the same one-room apartment, and with the consent of the boyfriend, that she should stay with them for a time, pending when she would get accommodation. Of course, the third leg became instantly reawakened again, and it was beating and nodding vigorously, calling for this other woman. So I don't know, women at times. So I don't know. What do you think would happen if it had been like maybe like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment now, and the visitor has her own room, but you are all living in the same room, and you expect that nothing would happen? So of course, the man started having secret sexual relationship with the visitor, and then one day she caught them. She had her suspicions for a while, and one day she caught them red-handed. And while the man was trying to shield the visitor, her name is Mayowa, from Joy, who was livid and very furious. Well, as most women would do in that kind of situation, she went for the man's genitals, and then
that is always the next target.
Let's see. During the struggle, Joy allegedly grabbed Usman's genitals with extreme force, inflicting a deep vertical laceration on his scrotum and exposed his testicles. So what this means, she tore open the testicles, so to say.
She tore open the testicles, or she tore open the drawers he was wearing.
The testicles. True, so you can imagine such strength, such brute strength coming from a woman. Oh, poor Usman. Well, the one has been sent, but I guess Usman has also learned his lesson.
Yes.
Next time we would be more careful when savoring the fruits of Eve.
Yes, Tola, before we go to the phone lines now, matrimonial auditors, you've forgotten. You see this issue of lecturers, randy lecturers. You said, you mentioned one thing, that lecturers should control their yes. I once knew one lecturer in my school, my institution. I will not mention that school. Yes, one lady came. I was in the lecturer's office. One lady came. She wanted to check our answer script. She was now searching. The lecturer said, "We are search for the script." She was searching. Now opened her, her top. It had kind of maybe zip or so. Now the lecturer was now in front of the lecturer. She was now dangling the 2 oranges. You understand?
Were the oranges ripe, Bimbo?
Yes, very ripe. You understand? The lecturer had to chase her out of his office.
God bless that lecturer.
Yes.
You know what the good book says? In a show whereby you don't want to send out, pluck out your eyes. Alright, book of matrimonial oddities. My marriage began to fall apart after my mother-in-law confronted me for daring to get pregnant. She burnt my mother's clothes, got me hospitalized after Bimbo. After she pulled my genitals. Husband. And my husband also saw from me, accuses me of dating my pastor. That's another wife. And she cares for her pastor, respects him more than me, says husband. That is a very familiar problem in many homes. Women, be very careful when it comes to your husband and your pastor. Yes, your husband is God's representative, but don't place him above your husband.
Yes, that is dangerous. Yes, that is what they always do.
It is dangerous. Yes. You kneel down on both knees for your pastor, to kneel down
for your husband
in the morning. Render his panegyrics to make him feel happy, and you won't do that, but you do all that for your pastor. Despite being childless, my wife flouts my order, goes out at will. That's another husband complaining there. Let's open the phone lines.
Yes, 07055551985. Hello, good morning.
Should be a unifying factor by now. Should be a unifying factor by now. Instead of 55 statement being filled out almost on a weekly basis. As far as I'm concerned, all people like you, when retrospecting, always ask God for forgiveness of whatever they have done wrong in their youthful life, irrespective of their religious belief. But what do we have in our job about this Obasanjo? attending the embassy of Discord every day. Yorùbá ní ká bá dàgbà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ayógun jà. At this tail end of his life, for me personally, he should have let go of all these traditional traits. Wọ́n ní ará òun kì í hárú, àwọn ìmọ̀lẹ́ tó tó wọn. Nígbà tó wọ ọ̀bá mẹ́nu kó bí ọ̀rọ̀, nígbà wo ni òun hárú sí wọn sọ.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kano court sentences woman to death for killing husband 9 days after wedding. She served him a sobo drink and then slit his throat. Maybe she was forced to marry him, and I don't know what it doesn't say.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you, sir.
I want to start with you again. At the same time, I want to say happy new month.
Yes, same to you. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. I want to teach you issue of ACF that they say that they should replicate when they rescue the Agoti. Yes, it seems that they are now realizing that it is not the way of life now any longer. That is why I think that is why they said so. Because look at those people that they adopted in quarantine. They are saying that, I mean, they contributed 155 million naira, and those kidnappers getting it. So it seems now they are now realizing that it is not good to negotiate with bandits. Even you mentioned Sheikh Gumi. You see that Sheikh Gumi now is now I don't want to use I think now it's realizing that it is not good gather. So what I'm saying is that government should do the same the way they rescue the people. Those kidnappers there, they should do so without wasting time. God bless you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Police arrest 20-year-old suspected bandits arms supplier in Benue. It's not the fact that he's a bandit supplier that bothers me. It's his age. He's just 20. Just coming out of teenagehood.
Teenagehood, yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Good morning, Mr. Fabum.
I'm Mr. Fabum.
Yes, you're welcome.
They called by the governor of your state that kidnapping will be investigated. It's going to haunt this government to the election. They must, because immediately after the release of this kidnapped people, you know, Ali Dume came out to say, look, 79 people are still in the custody of these kidnappers. Why don't you try and rescue them in the same way? These people are there, it's not because they are used to that way of life, but because they are helpless. They think that the government cannot assist them. This is a problem on the ground, and it's so unfortunate. And even government doing down out, and to buttress what Mr. Abimbo said, Buhari did not hide his feelings when he was in government for 8 years. He was not only promoting them, he was actually encouraging them. So that. As regards to what Obasanjo said, what he said is not just personal. What he said was not political. Trying to warn Nigerians against voting